In the Holt v. Hobbs case, a Muslim man named Gregory Holt, also goes by Abdul Malik Muhammad, was in jail in Arkansas. He is a practicing Muslim and he said it's a must for his religion to grow a beard. But the prison that he was in Arkansas does not allow beards to be grown at all unless it's for a medical reason, which then the beard length is 1/4 of an inch. Holt had asked the prison officials if he could grow a beard 1/2 an inch because he knew that knowing that the prison didn't allow beards at all, he thought it would be a reasonable length to argue. But the prison said no for two concerns. First was the identification issue. They thought that because a prisoner looks different without a beard and then with a beard, it would make it tougher for people to know which prisoner was which. It was also an issue of contraband, which is just having illegal things on you, and examples were razor blades or SIM cards, which could be hidden in your beard or in your mouth, and your beard would be hiding your mouth, so it would be tougher to catch those things. There were a few things that happened to make the Holt v. Hobbs decision. There had to have been the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, and this is important to him because Gregory Holt sued the prison on why the prison was violating this act. He sued the idea that this act prohibits unreasonably limiting religious assemblies, institutions, or structures within a jurisdiction. Because this act protects houses of worship and other religious institutions from discrimination. And he thought that the prison was obviously limiting his religious right because he wasn't being allowed to grow a beard. And this also fits in with the executive action of the case because the prison officials were not allowing him to grow a beard when this act would technically be allowing him to. The cases that influenced the Holt v. Hobbs decision were Gonzalez v. Ocentro and Burwell v. Hobby Lobby stores. In Gonzalez v. Ocentro, which happened in 2006, and it was an 8-0 decision because Justice Alito did not participate. But it was about a religious institution that was taking drugs, but then the government was prohibiting them because they thought it was harmful. And in the end, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the religious side because the government had no proof that this was actually harmful. Another case that greatly influenced the Holt v. Hobbs decision was Burwell v. Hobby Lobby stores. It happened in 2014 and it was a 5-4 decision. Basically, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Green family, who were Christian and were against contraceptives and were being forced to pay them because of the Affordable Care Act. And they ruled in favor of the Green family, who were the religious side of this act. First, Gregory Holt went to the district court, and in the district court they ruled against him because in the prison he was given a prayer rug, a special diet, he was able to see his religious holidays, and he was able to meet with a religious counselor. And they ruled against him because these were all things that were part of the least restrictive means part of the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act. But then, because Gregory Holt was not pleased with his decision, he appealed to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. And even in the Court of Appeals, he still lost because the Court of Appeals agreed with the district court's decision that because he was giving all these other necessities for his religion, that it should be made clear that the prison is already following their least restrictive means portion of the act. After this, Gregory Holt then appealed to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court agreed to hear his case. So for Gregory Holt, the lawyer on his side was Douglas Laycock, and he's a professor of law at the University of Virginia. His main argument was that beards are an identification hazard for the prison, then why are not mustaches and head hair? Because they have zero rules about how long you have to have your hair or how long your mustache should be, because in his opinion, and a lot of other experts' opinions, they said that is more of a concern for identification than a 1/2 inch beard. He also said that because in the rest of the 43 states, they already allow prisoners to have beards of basically any length and at least a 1/2 an inch. So why is the institution of Arkansas so different that they can allow prisoners to have a 1/2 an inch beard? And he also said that because the defense side had all these scenarios like going on, like the whole contraband issue and the identification hazard, then there was a lack of data on these ever happening. So he said that because of that, they should rule in favor of him. The lawyer for the Arkansas prison was David Cran, and Gregory Holt originally sued the director for the Arkansas prison. That's why it says Holt v. Hobbs in the actual name and not Holt v. Arkansas prison. His argument had two concerns. First, it would alter appearance, so that's basically the identification issues, and that too, the prisoners would hide contraband, which is what I already discussed. But his third point was that it is nearly impossible to measure every inmate's beard because a lot more of them would have beards, and to be able to measure every single inmate's beard and make sure that's exactly a 1/2 an inch is unreasonable, he said. said. In the end, the Supreme Court ruled a 9-0 decision with the concurrence from Justice Ginsburg and Justice Sotomayor, and Justice Alito wrote the opinion of the court. Some of their main concerns were because that the prison already checks the prisoners' clothes, shoes, hair, and a medical beard if they have one for contrabands or anything, then why can they not check the beard also? And they also said that because one of the reasons that the prison isn't allowing them to grow a beard was because of identification issues, then why can't they take a picture when you have no beard, when you have a 1/4 of an inch beard, when you have a 1/2 inch beard to solve this identification issue? In the concurring opinions, Justice Ginsburg said that because this doesn't affect anybody else but a specific group of people, which is only prisoners who want beards, and Justice Sotomayor said in her opinion that the RLUIPA required institutions refusing an accommodation to demonstrate that policy it defends. So the real question is, was judicial review used in the best interest of our country? And I think it was, because all 9 of the justices agreed with the same idea that Gregory Holt should be allowed to grow a 1/2 inch beard in prison for his religious right. And we do need judicial review because, like in this case, there are many other times where the lower courts don't always make the best decision for the entirety of the country. For example, in Roe v. Wade, where there were women that sued for their right to an abortion, the lower courts did not make the same decision that the Supreme Court did. So judicial review is in the best interest of the country to make sure that the best rules and laws get applied for America.